Hello, good afternoon. Time for another 3 hours of drawing. We're going to try to get these 3 pages done. So 1, 2, 3. Line work is done, which means now we're going to start from the bottom and go all the way up. Finish these pages. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Cool. Cool. 1. And line work for the background is here, so we're going to put that as the reference layer. Come over here and get our no gaps close and fill tool. Some of this isn't as neatly closed up. That's okay. Right? That's good. This back wall just a smidge darker than the others. Yeah. Cool. So, and finally, this frame. Cool. Cool. A little bit of contrast. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Background gradients really is for background textures. Someone just brushes. That's fine. Save. Cool. We've got the basic backgrounds for one page. Next page. So we can grab this. Back to normal. Oops. Back along. Cool. That's good to go. This, Control B to remove the color. So nope. Cool. Textures back. Make it. Yep. Make it plain. Oh. Oh. Hi, Flapple. How you doing? Save our pages here. Yeah, why not? Why don't we just get shaded up? Gradients. Save. Let's get that harsh blue light. Oh, hello! Over on the YouTube side. Johnny is here, and then someone new, the Stricken. Hi, how are we doing? Cool. This set of backgrounds are done. Green, close. The figures next after the next 2 pages. Oh boy. Alright. Hello, Marquee Tool. Today we're doing shading. I'm going to finish. Actually, her face takes up that entire page. so we're not going to worry about shading that background. There we go. Yeah. Alright. Background be a little further away. Right. That. Cool. That is done. Right. Wrong marquee tool. Oop. Oop. So we want a warm light. This scene. Cold light clad. Nice contrast. Ooh, hold on. Moving too fast. Ooh. That's done. Next page. Wait. Save. Now next page. Shadow, make sure the gradients are on. And again, we're going to over focus on the background, so we make it darker. Nice. Blur those edges a bit. Do the same thing here. Nice. Just shading, now lighting. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Neat. Save that, and above those. We'll have the figures stand out from the background a little bit. That way we're kind of putting a spotlight on the characters. It leads the reader's eye around the page. Does all that fun stuff. Yay! That's done. Close that up. Let's get to figure flats. We are moving along speedily because I want to get this done as quickly as possible. Boop. No gaps. Close and fill tool. This time we make sure our line work is referenced. Good. Check that off. Back here. Boop. Alright, we'll clean it up after. Cool. Oh, it's a shame Birdbath isn't here. We're doing their favorite thing. I'm facing a problem now. I know how to draw, I know how to paint an illustration, but when I sit and try to create a masterpiece, nothing comes to mind. Is it art block or creative block? Well, first things first, let go of the need to create a masterpiece, right? And think about, why do you make art? It sounds like a creative block to me. It sounds like you don't know what you want to express in your art, right? Like, it happens a lot with writing, where, for me, generally speaking, if I don't have something to say, I don't have anything to write. You know, there's no stories that are coming out of me right now because I'm not really, like, feeling anything. I think the same thing goes with art. If there isn't something that you find interesting to draw, then it's really hard to come up with something. It's also really hard to come up with something without, like, inspiration. So a good place to start off is like fan art, for instance. You take your favorite shows, stories, movies, whatever you really, really enjoy, video games, you know, and you ask yourself, all right, what would be interesting to explore? What if this character, instead of being in a medieval fantasy, if they were in a cyberpunk fantasy, right? And then you use that to get inspiration, and you can look up, like, you know, aesthetics of the thing that you want to make, color palettes and stuff like that, see what other people have done, and see if that doesn't spark something that you want to draw, right? Like, we don't draw for the hell of it. At least I don't draw for the hell of it. We draw and we create art to express something. So even illustrations and paintings are expressing something, you know? It's expressing something that is of interest to us that we want others to also focus on. Things that we enjoy, right? A lot of it comes down to that. Oh, come on. Where are you having a problem? Yeah, you should not be having a problem. Come on, buddy. What's the issue? Oh, this is too thin. Aha! I fixed it. Also, I think creative blocks can come from being afraid to make what you really want to make because you're worried about what people will think of it. But here's the thing about art. You don't have to show it to anybody if you don't want to. Nobody's forcing you. Nobody's holding a gun to your head to be like, make this masterpiece or else. Yeah. It's really just you, right? So, like, yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you want your art to be about. Or just, literally anything you're interested in. I think a lot about, why we draw, why we make the things that we make. Usually for me, it's because something is trying to get out of my head. Oops. Alright. 1 page of flats, done. There isn't any detailing. Save. Ooh, next one. Ah, carbon. Carbon doesn't have coloration yet. We've reached the point where my early pages that weren't colored now needs color. What do I want to do for carbon? Yeah. Sera, in these characters, there's no much shadows or highlights, but it's so appealing. How? I imagine it's because of the line work, the line weight, and then the gradients, and just like the layers and layers of gradients that I use. It makes it nice and subtle. That way, like, the coloring complements the art. I'm not very strong in coloring, nor do I have, that much time to do it. So a lot of the physicality of my art comes from its line work. Like, I could do just line work alone, but people online expect colors. Speaking of colors, I think this looks fine. I think I can use this color scheme for her. So, healer lady, we're gonna put it up here. Add color, carbon. And my hair. This. Yep. That's all I need for now. This'll do. Close that. These flats are done. Let's come here. Oh. Oh, oh. Oh. Cool. Oh no, that's the wrong tool. There we go. Then I will make her nails. It's bright white, silver. Try to connect it. Got this. Oops. Can we do animation with these processes? Yes. I don't see why not. I mean, Clip can do animation. What processes do you mean? Yeah. Oh. Oh. Are you self-taught artist or do you have any art degree? I have a BFA in animation. I went to school to learn to animate. And I chose animation, specifically experimental animation, so that I could learn all of the tools available. So I got to do 2D, 3D, figure classes, I took a bunch of art history. I've studied a lot. So yeah, I took a lot of art classes to supplement things, as well as like a graphic design class that focused on comics, which was nice. It was very Western focused, but it was still useful. But even while I was going to school and long before I went to college, I was doing art. So I'm like half self-taught. Went to school for 4 or 5 years. but everything after that is like even more self-taught. So, because, you know, learning doesn't stop. So anything else I have improved upon since finishing college, I've basically done on my own. Like, I had to teach myself Clip. It was similar enough to Photoshop. That wasn't, like, as big of a climb. But yeah. Because I don't work for anybody, any professional development that I do has to be completely self-directed. I mean, with proper line weight and simple colors. I don't know. I've done comics for a really long time. And so the type of line work that you use in comics, the composition and everything, it's different from illustrations, you know? I have to do more with less. And for me, line work, shadows in the right places, right? Like these really dark areas here. Having the lines do most of the work means I can get away with just coloring in gradient. Oh, what is your problem? Ha. Okay. Any suggestion to aspiring artists like me who can't afford a degree? Depending, well, alright. The way I learned to draw in college was to start with life drawing, which is representational drawing. It's drawing what you see. So using a solid ink pen, not ballpoint, and not using an eraser, right? So to force yourself to commit to the lines that you put down on the paper, you draw what you see around you. So that starts with like still life, right? It starts with buildings, because the main key thing that I learned in class was you have to learn to draw what you see, not what you think you see. And there's a big difference there, right? You can do a representation of a thing, which is very abstract, right? Or you draw it as it actually is, right? Because drawing is the skill of representing 3D things onto a 2D surface. So like you're basically like creating illusions. So drawing still life, drawing objects, observing light, and then observing highlights, observing shadows, and then observing shadows inside of shadows. half of drawing is observation. It's paying really close attention to the things around you, seeing how light and shadow work, and then connecting what you see to your hand to then draw what's on the page. And then that requires another skill to develop, which is having steady, confident lines, right? Not just sketching. You commit to each and every line that you put down. And that in turn forces you to slow down and be more thoughtful. There are also tons of resources online. So there is something called the Radio Runners Curriculum for the Solo Artist. It is a free-to-use website. I'm going to put the link in both chats for Twitch and YouTube. I found this guy years and years ago, and he has a broken down curriculum for someone trying to learn how to draw on their own, and he has listed both free and paid resources that you can use to practice drawing. So like there's, as you scroll down, you can see he's got a ton of stuff that covers figure drawing, perspective, composition, storytelling, anatomy, more perspective, drawing clothed figures, color and light, more perspective, more anatomy, animals, right? So this dude, you can just like scroll down to whatever it is you want to practice. And actually, it would help if I can just bring it over here, right? So, all right. Click Chrome, behave. Come over here. I'll wait for Chrome to behave, and then I can show off this website. It is a fantastic resource. It's been around forever, and you can use it to... Are you gonna... Oh my god. Chrome is rebelling right now. I may just have to close it up. Close, restart. Chrome has been doing this more often, where it's just like refusing to work. Rose petals! I need to remember to put rose petals in the water. Hold on, let me make a note, because I'm gonna forget. Add rose petals to water. Okay. This way I won't miss it. Note to self. Because it's such an uncommon thing, I will forget it. Alright. Back to flats. And then... I could see her having like dangerously red rose petals, just alarming. Blood red. Like that, darker. Yeah. Red. Is this gonna work? It's gonna work. Alright, so quick detour. Here we go. For everybody to see. Radio Runner's Curriculum for the Solo Artist. It is wonderful. It is built for self-taught artists looking for structure and direction. So Radio Runner is the original guy who made the most comprehensive list for artists. before it used to be a single, yeah, so what it used to be, Radio Runner initially created this really long graphic here, and I have an original copy. So this is what it used to be, and it goes through and it gives you links to like all these little areas. And so I think eventually this dude made a website. And so you have terms, you have different sections, you have clip. No, not clip. I'm so used to yelling at clip that when Chrome starts misbehaving, I just yell clip. I'm sorry, clip. You're perfect. You didn't do anything wrong. It's Chrome that's being a little shit. Are you gonna work? Why do you hate this website? Oh my god, calm down. Ja, forget it. Alright. You can get to the link from the chat. I'm sure you're bound to find something useful in there. But, you know, as useful as all of those resources are, nothing is more useful than doing deliberate practice, right? Where you're practicing specifically to improve at something, right? And so, you know, you practice the thing and then you record it, you keep it, right? And then after, like, say, a week of practicing one thing, you go back and look at where you started to where you got to. You see how you improved, you see where you could continue to make improvement, right? So practice only works with evaluation. And in class, when I was in like a studio class, it's really easy to get feedback on your work because we learn to critique each other's work. You know, have somebody look at it and be like, all right, you're doing really well in this area, but this could use some improvement. And it's hard to do that on your own. So if you are on your own, you have to learn to edit your own work. You have to learn to evaluate your own work. And that in turn requires like learning to be very honest with yourself, right? Learning to track your progress, because no one else is really going to do that for you. It could also involve posting your work online and saying, hey, you know, open to critique, and see what comes up. You know, most reasonable people will not critique something unless they're asked to, because nobody likes unsolicited feedback. But if you're asking for feedback, then, you know, you get into the practice of getting used to hearing critique, getting used to hearing that, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I thought, or hey, I should give myself more credit because this actually looks pretty good, you know? But without that external feedback, it's hard to really tell where you're at, right? But I mean, you know, if you're only doing art for yourself, then it doesn't matter what the feedback is. Now, if you want to do art for others, if you want to put your art somewhere where people can see it and you want people to appreciate it, you have to start thinking, all right, what do I want to give to the viewer, right? Because now you're not just making art for the hell of it, you're making art to communicate something. You have to consider your audience if you're going to put it out somewhere to get attention, right? And getting attention is just connecting to another human being. Otherwise, why should they pay attention to you, right? That's why, like, there's that dichotomy between pure art and commercialism, and there's a whole bunch of like stuff in between. But there's also like overlap, right? Art is communication, right? Art is a reflection of the person that made it, art is a reflection of the culture that made it. Art is always saying something. And that something is really whatever you want it to be and whatever the end viewer decides it is for themselves. So that's like another layer to art. It's really cool. Like I said, I took a lot of art history classes and I got really, really into it. I took a ton. And so this is of deep interest to me. I could talk about art all day. I love making art, I love looking at art, I love studying art. You can learn so much from art. And the stories that cultures tell. It reveals so much about how its creator sees the world. You know? Or whatever it is that they're fascinated by. Art has so many purposes. One of my favorite sayings about art is meant to comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. Chew on that. For practice, how much time we need in a day? However much you feel like drawing. However much you feel like drawing. The most important thing for a creative field, I think, is if you force yourself to do it, you're not going to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, you won't make good art. So if one day you do 5 minutes of drawing, you make a little bit of progress, and then you're just like, I'm good, that's fine. And then if the next day you're like, oh, I don't want to stop, and then you do like 6 hours of drawing, that's great too. Each day is different. You take it a day at a time, you make a goal. As long as you're taking progressive steps towards whatever goal you're trying to master, you're making progress. So there's no prescriptive amount of time that I would say you need to practice every day. Hell, sometimes you don't even have to practice every day. Sometimes you're just having a really bad day. And so you take a mental health day and you rest. Because when you rest and you do something else related to art, like instead of drawing, you can watch YouTube videos of people teaching how to draw something, right? Or you take a day and you look up masterworks, of like sketchbooks of Leonardo da Vinci, whatever favorite artists you have, and you just look at their work, you observe it, right? Sometimes when you can't think of something new to draw, you take a masterwork and you try to replicate it. You practice it, you copy it in order to learn, right? Studies are a thing. Sometimes in the olden days, in apprentice days, you would take your master's work and you would try to replicate that painting to learn how he did it yourself, right? So there's different kinds of practice. There's different kinds of so there's different lengths of time, right? If something feels really, really new, it's harder to learn because you're not used to it. But if you take something familiar that you like, then you can do it for a while longer. And then the trap becomes, how can I do this more thoughtfully? Like, I've been making comics forever now, right? At least 10 years. So I have a lot of old habits that if I don't think, if I don't slow down, I'll start working on autopilot. And if I work on autopilot, my art isn't as good. It's not as thoughtful. So, whatever you do, do with mindfulness, do with focus, do with staying in the present, right? When you're actually doing the thing, don't think about what you did in the past or what you have to worry about in the future. Stay where you're at. Because then later, once you're done, then you can evaluate it, you know? And if one method doesn't work, change it to another method. You don't have to stick to something you hate doing. Especially if you're doing it on your own, right? You're not in school for it, you're doing this because you want to. So it works, oops, however it works for you. And that's it. Nobody else gets a say. Nobody else gets to decide. Time is it? 2 o'clock. For shading. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, so we start with the foundational shade, gradient towards the light. Yeah. Nope. Slow down. I just talked about slowing down and being thoughtful. I need to listen to myself. Ugh. See. What is your thoughts on doing multiple projects at a time? Is it a good thing? I would say you have your main project, and then you have your little side project that you do when you don't feel like working on your main project. Do not do what I am doing, which is 6 projects in one go. I am doing it, 1, because I have ADHD. 2, I have no chill. And 3, I just have too many obligations that I've set up for myself, and I realize now that that's a bit of a mistake, and it's hard to bring it back. So, if you're starting off, if you've never finished an art project before, like you've never finished an illustration, or a comic, or a book, or a short story, if you've never finished anything and put it out where people have seen it, you get one project. You get one project and you get like the stuff that you're practicing in the background. But you get one like presentation project, just one. Finish that one. Now, finish the second one. Once you have finished the second one, you can maybe move on to a slightly bigger project as you get more confident. But again, just one. In fact, the times in my life that I was most successful, I only worked on one project at a time. And then I had to take side gigs to supplement income, and I ended up working on multiple projects out of sheer necessity. Honestly, if I could work on just one project and focus on just that one thing, and only do that, I legitimately would. I am realizing this as I'm speaking. I would love to work on just one thing at a time. The problem is I cannot afford to do that. Like, it would decimate my income. So, I recommend a single main project. Don't be me. I'm not a good role model for self-control. My pages are out of order. Why'd you put over there? Alright, anyway. I would say main project. Focus on one big thing. Get good at that one big thing. Because it's only by finishing things that you get more confident. And confidence is what you need if you're just beginning, right? You have to prove to yourself that you can do it in a small way. Because if you don't prove it to yourself, nothing anybody says is going to make you believe it. Like, people can be as supportive as they want to, but you have to believe in it. You have to believe in yourself. Otherwise, it doesn't work. That's the wrong marquee tool. Boop, boop. Another thing I want to do with my shading is to follow the lines so that I don't have to do any blending. I may not do detailed shading, but it looks cool and it does the job. Maybe in the hair I'll do a little bit of blending. Ta-da! Putting the shadows in the right places helps. Yep. Cool. Work harder, not smarter. Wait. Work smarter, not harder. My brain is turning off. I think I'm tired. I feel tired and manic at the same time. Like, I'm exhausted and I have too much energy. Yep, that looks fine. Good night, Sarah. Bye. Take care, Johnny, and good luck with your art. Sleep well. Nice. Shading done. Takes the longest amount of time. We got a bot in the Twitch chat. Goodbye, bot. I finally memorized where the little band button thingy is. I think my headphones just completely stopped working. Why? Hold on. Test. Can't hear anything. What? Seriously? Well, they lasted for a while. I have backup headphones. I mean, I do. They are not great. Oof. Hold on, let me test something. They are working. They're working. I must have hit something that lowered my entire computer's volume down. It's a good thing I troubleshooted. Okay, everything's fine. I can hear. We're okay. Alright. Back to coloring. Oh, jeez. Alright. I got a call. Got a call from my mom. Because earlier this morning there was like a huge thunderstorm for about 2 hours. And they gave a tornado warning because of the severity of the storm. So apparently one of my mom's friends called her. Mom lives in South Florida. Called her, worried. Is everything okay? I do not live in South Florida. So then she calls me, is like, was there a tornado? And I'm like, no. But there was a warning for like an hour tops. So yeah, mom called to garner information. Everything is fine. It's not even raining anymore. Rainstorms don't last very long in the spring here. Hell, even in the summer, I don't really recall, like, ever a time that storms lasted longer than, like, an hour or two on a normal day. It's hurricanes you gotta watch out for. The last one last year actually did have tornadoes touch down, like, on the west coast of South Florida. That was scary. I'm glad did not touch down near where my folks are at. Okay, let's move on. What's up, Flapple? How's it going? I finished shading. The longest step is done. What time is it? 2:48. I can do this. I started off with so much energy. You sound so tired. I think I am. I sound unsure because I am unsure if I'm tired or not. Because there's so much to do, it's like, well, it doesn't matter if I'm tired or not. This stuff needs to get done. I was in that hang up as well these last 3 weeks. Oh, yeah. All of your extra work, all of the overtime. That's gonna be my week this week, honestly, because, like, what's that? Like, next week-ish, end of week-ish, my folks are gonna come and they're gonna stay at the house for like 10 days. Now, they are doing a staycation. I am still working. How often am I going to get interrupted while they're here? Probably a lot. So I have to assume that this last week of March, I'm gonna have to claw for every bit of focus time I can. So I'm gonna do as much work as humanly possible in the next 2 weeks. Because, like, it's their vacation, not mine. I'm taking my vacation near my birthday when I go to 221 Beacon in April. Yep. So frankly, I don't care if I tire myself out in these next few weeks because I anticipate not having the quality of silence that I appreciate when I work. Like, I may still have the same amount of time to work, but I'm not gonna have my environment. Can you put do not disturb sign on the door and close it? Yeah, it's called locking my door. It doesn't matter if I put a do not disturb or like tell them not to disturb, because sometimes they won't disturb and other times they'd be like, oh, I forgot, right after disturbing me. So like, plus if Ba is gonna be upstairs, then my conscience will be like, well, I can't just not have an ear open in case Ba needs me upstairs, you know? So it's like, it is what it is. It is what it is, and I'll deal with it. 221 BCon? Yeah, it's up in Georgia. I'm gonna be going to a convention that's just like this general queer media convention with a bunch of friends. Well, with Cecily and her friends. Is what it's gonna be. They very graciously allowed me to tag along. So I'm gonna get to spend the weekend at the convention. I've never gone to a convention with a bunch of people, like for multiple days before. I've met friends at a con once for like a day, and it was a lot of fun. But I haven't done it since college. Nice, make friends. I will endeavor to make friends. We'll see. Why did I put her into a bathtub? I now have to do water effects. That's a pretty long trip from Florida. I've done it, it was pretty tiring, but fun still. Oh, I'm good with road trips. I'm really good with road trips. I've taken road trips my entire life, literally my entire life since I was a baby. Traveling isn't what gets me tired. Like, I love being in the car, I love driving, I love, going across the state and stuff. Um, it's the socializing that takes it out of me. I'm good with everything else. Because I like driving. Road trips are fine. I just want to be a good road trip buddy. Did you do your socials today? What do you mean? I posted that I was streaming everywhere. I did those. Was I supposed to do something else? That's what I was meaning. Yeah, I did those. I checked them off of my to-do list in the other server that I'm in with my artist buddies. Good job. Thanks. Man, the things I do for my webcomic. Meerkat? Babu. What? That's random, even for you. No, I bet you can't. And it's all our fault. A wonderful word. No? A wonderful word, you mean? Yeah. Water is difficult to draw. I can't just slap on blue and call it a day. Because water is see-through. Don't know if you knew this, but it is. Fun fact. And it loves to reflect light. Okay, you know what? Yep, that looks fine. Right? Right. We're all agreed. Okay. I remembered the rose petals. I can delete this now. Okay. Did this teach you not to do any more bad scenes? Probably not. Knowing how I am, I'm just like, let's do this thing, because it'll force me to practice. I never learned my lesson, or maybe I do learn my lesson. Maybe I'm gonna, instead of doing a bad scene, I'll like do something else. that's like gonna require detailing of stuff. Because I can't help myself. I'm just like, I don't want it to be boring. I want to challenge myself. People will enjoy it. Okay. Alright. Oh, we got 10 minutes left. Okay. Alright, this page is done. Hello, David Thompson. So are you making this as a book or question mark? It's a webcomic. The page version is on my Patreon. The scroll version is on Tapas. If you go down into the description of the live stream, you get links to all of my comics where you can read it for free. I don't have time to reformat it now, but I do reformat it for scroll for smartphones. The comic that you see on screen is actually a sequel to my first comic, Bones Tarot, which is currently in the middle of printing. We've got 3 volumes down, 2 more to go. This is a complete story. It's also a webcomic on Tapas that you can read. So, yes, it is a book or and other stuff. Okay, finally. Alright, this page is done. You know what? We'll finish the next 2 pages. I will save them, I'll put them on Discord, and I'll put them on Patreon, and tomorrow we will reformat and put them onto Tapas. That's what we're gonna do, because it's almost time to end stream, and I have so much other work to do. So we're gonna save this as a JPEG into the right folder. There we go. Yep. Yep. Boop. Next one. Alright. Nice. Oh, thank you. You just got here? I know. I know. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll get my posts that I do before I start streaming for the day. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, United States. So barring unforeseen, like if I can't stream for whatever that day, I will try to make a post on my YouTube community post area. I'm also on Twitch, and I have a Blue Sky. So don't ask why I put a sad emoji. It's okay. I wasn't going to ask. But now I kind of want to. Don't tell me what I can't do. No, it's fine. You don't have to explain nothing. I do appreciate you coming by though. Oh no, that's too bright. It's alright, it's not the end of the world. I'll have more streams. You'll find me again. I actually subbed, but I'm still in school. Ah, I see. Well, thank you for the sub. And you're watching me while you're still at school? Bro. I don't remember being able to watch YouTube at school. Except at the end of orchestra class, when we were waiting and we already put away all our instruments and everybody was over by the computers and they were putting on music videos of the latest K-pop songs. This is 2010. Yep. What's the next step? I did the texture. Chill. Motion lines. Let me turn on my dialogue so I don't get in the way of my own motion lines. Boop. Oh, just got home. I see. Well, I mean, part of the fun of live streams is that it's live. But all of my live streams are saved on my YouTube channel. So there is that. Orchestra? You do orchestra too? Neat! Which instrument? I was second violin, first stand, second chair by the time I was in junior and senior year. Do the cello? Oh, I love the cello. My best friend in high school played the cello. Well, my best friend in orchestra. I had a number of best friends. That's neat. How long have you been playing the cello? Since last year? Oh, neat. I wish my school was eligible for orchestra. That would have been cool. Yeah. It was fun. Orchestra was the only reason I kept playing the violin. Your teacher for orchestra is named Mr. Adele? That's awesome. Alright, sound effects and motion lines done. Let's get done with this. Nice. Oh, oh, oh. Save. No, save the JPEG. Ah, yeah, I know. Come on, Clip. You can do it. There we go. Save the JPEG first, and then I can save the file. That way it saves in the background. There's a setting in Clip that lets you save stuff in the background, and then I can switch to another canvas real quick. One more. One more, and then I'm calling it a day. So I'm bored, not by watching this, but I'm just bored. Aw. Are you tired? I mean, You did just come back from school, so maybe you need to fill your cup. Take a break with something that fills you up. And then it'll like refresh you for whatever you have to do next. That's what I try to do. Like after this session, when I'm done, I'm gonna like go outside. I need to go outside and walk for 5 minutes in the sun because it helps with anxiety. And it resets the brain, you know? Sometimes you need a refresh. My brain is and I'm kind of tired. That would explain it. That would explain it. You need to rest. You need to rest and enjoy something. Enjoy something that you don't have to, like, learn or think about, you know? Something that fills your cup. And then, you know, you go and you, like, put a timer on it, you know? If you have a tendency to just, like, keep on going with the stuff you like doing, you can put a timer and then, you know, do the thing that you gotta do, like homework or whatever. And then sprinkle in little dopamine hits in between. That's what I do. Every time I accomplish something, I reward myself. It's the only way I get anything done. Save. Alright, next one. I've made an error. Go away. Oh, you know what? I've not made an error. Everything's fine. I'm awesome. And what I do is a little action. There we go. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Ooh, model kits. That's neat. I've been doing embroidery, specifically cross stitch, and I do crochet as well, but I want to do model kits. I want to make the little, like, houses, like the little bookshop or whatever, the diorama. I want to do little diorama model kits, but that requires more room than is on my writing desk, so I'm gonna finish, like, my paint by numbers and my cross stitch and my crochet stuff first. Oh, Star Wars and One Piece models? That's neat. Yeah. You could work on a model kit for a little while. I think that would be good. It would be restful. And when you take a good break, that means you'll get energy back to do stuff that takes up energy. Rest is productive. If you're tired, rest. Then you'll do whatever you need to do better, faster, in the way that it should be done. Rest is revolutionary. It's how we fight the system, by taking care of ourselves. mean, oh, this needs to be a sound effect. I'm in my room and there's just a tat. Is that a text face or like a word just sitting there? Sometimes you can just sit there. Sit there and breathe. I was in the Lego phase and now I'm in model kits. That's awesome. I too phase from one activity to another. Alright. One. Okay. We can get rid of that. Save. Oh, I want to make a Gundam kit. That's one of my things. There's just so much to do. Oh, David Thompson, you are small. So young. You're probably making a horror channel. You do you. The more creative you are, the better. We need more creativity in the world. Oh no. Alright, there we go. Control E. Connect the things. Slow down. Don't draw too fast. Think. Think while you're drawing. My goodness. Alright. Okay. Finally finished that page. Okay. Save. Save. Boop. Going to abandoned haunted areas with 2 of your friends. Do be careful when you do that. Can't always go into just any place. Oh, thank goodness. Alright. Hooray! Did I save a JPEG of that? Did I do that? Oh my goodness. Alright, hold on. I did not. I did not. I exited out of that way too quickly. Come right here. Come back. Save. Export. Enter. Enter. Cool. Alrighty. So these 3 pages, let me get onto Patreon and Discord. Let's do that. So first, partners. That there. So that's done. Then I'm doing it in like 8 years. Okay. Alright. Smart. That's good. Good planning on your part. Did Patreon change the... whatever. Let's... Patreon keeps changing, like, its interface stuff, like little things. And they're only things you would notice if you use it regularly on the back end. Okay, where are my partners pages? A place called the Wendigo Forest. Oh my gosh. Wendigo. I really like horror channels. I watch a ton that go into like horror ARGs and stuff. That stuff is neat. Sorry, so this is partners. And the images. This should be at the end. Okay. Cool. Next. This is for everyone who's an early reader and higher. Cool, cool, cool. Publish. I'm gonna let that do its work. I'm gonna check my to-do list. Get that off of there. There's a creature there called the Wendigo. Actually, careful, because the creature eat humans. Yes, the legend of the Wendigo is the Wendigo is created when a person gets lost in the wilderness with like a party or something, and they end up having to eat others to survive, and in doing so they turn into this inhuman beast that's cursed to eat people. It's a Wendigo. and then we uploaded it to Patreon, did that. Cool. Alright. Oh my goodness, I am so tired and I still have so much drawing to do today. Of like coloring, but if I do it immediately, my shoulder's gonna hurt. Because I'm old. So instead, I'm going to take a break. I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna finish writing first, then drawing, then more writing. We are working overtime today, fam. Alright. So, with that, done with work for stream time. We stream 20 more minutes than we normally do. As always, thank you for giving me company. I appreciate it. If you're over on Twitch, be sure to follow so that you will get notified whenever I go live. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that you won't miss another live stream. I also do community posts where I keep people up to date about a live stream happening that day. I will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time Zone, United States. If you'd like to support me in terms of like throwing money my way, I have a Patreon and I have Twitch subscriptions. I don't have any YouTube subs yet because I'm small on YouTube. It doesn't let me do anything. So instead there's a bunch of links down in the description where you can get to all my comics and stuff, and just reading those supports me. I hope. One can only hope. I hope everyone has a good rest of their day. Go do something that you find restful and make sure to drink enough water. I'll be back tomorrow. Everyone take care. Bye-bye.